good as a field on a fine summer night if you sit all alone with the weeds. Or a succulent pear if with each juicy bite you spit out your teeth with the seeds. Before it's too late, stop trying to wait for fortune and fate you're secure of.
She's a connection to our musical theater history, but this show is so much more. You know, she really connected emotionally with her life story, which I loved. And she still sings beautifully.
And I told my mother I had to be a fairy. She said, okay, then you have to go to ballet class. Okay, I want to go. That first ballet class, I fell in love with my ballet teacher, Miss Dorothy Alexander, and classical ballet. Everything was beautiful at the ballet. Hey, I was pretty, I was happy, I would love to in a tutu. I was the original Dainty June in Gypsy with Ethel Merman, and my goodness, time really does fly by. It is 63 years since I did Gypsy, and I survived La Dame Merman, Jerry Robbins, and the plague. I'm still here. In a nutshell, I was not first choice, but then they fired the girl that they had hired, and they hired me. And there I was, between two dragons, Ethel Merman and Jerome Robbins. It was pure, unadulterated hell. If Merman was nicer, she'd know that I'm here, and she'd look me in the eye. We may not like each other at all, but we're stuck here together, so let's at least try. If Merman was nicer, if Robbins was calmer, I'd finally relax and not be so terrified. You never know if it's praise or attack. You never know if it's Jekyll or Hyde. If Robbins was calmer, if Merman and Robbins were nicer.
Lane and I were brought together by Michael Roberts, who is a new collaborator of mine and who I think is a genius. And he felt that Lane and I would work together wonderfully. And from the first dinner we had together, we've been having a mutual love fest.
Lane is just a marvelous woman, and she's a multi-talented person who kind of touches my childhood. I remember seeing late night television, and I would see like the Rockford Files, all these different TV series that Lane had parts in. Sometimes I'll say, hey, Lane, you were in McLeod or you were in Kung Fu. To learn her background, it's really touching.
Years later, I starred in an episode of a Gunsmoke called Outlaw's Woman, and I was the Outlaw's Woman. And there was a scene when I got shot and fell off my horse. Hallelujah at last. So I arrive on the set, and the director, Mark Rydell, said to me, Lane, don't worry about falling off the horse because we've got someone to do. No, I'm not worried about it. I've been doing that all my life, millions and millions of times on my front lawn in Georgia. I'm not worried. Lane, if you get hurt, the whole film gets shut down. I won't get hurt. I've been doing this all my life, millions of times on my front lawn in Atlanta, Georgia. I won't get hurt. Lane, if you do the stunt girl won't get paid. Okay, places. I got on my horse, and action. I galloped my horse up the hill. I heard the gunshot. I fell forward onto the horse's neck until I landed up in a heap on the ground. And cut. Dead silence. All right. Stunt is up. The stunt girl came and got on my horse, took my horse down the hill, and action! Galloped my horse up the hill, heard the shot, fell forward onto the ground. Cut! Bravo, 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 magnificent! I was certainly nobody's favorite that day. But I couldn't help it. I had just practiced too much to let this opportunity go by. Plus, I'm a little bit stubborn, so. When we got back down to the bottom of the mountain, we went into this little general store to get refreshments. We sat down in a dusky little corner and had our peanut butter crackers and Cokes. And then into the store came an African-American man. He started to order something, and the redneck behind the counter said, "Hey, black boy, you see that sign out there? It says no niggers in here." You've got to be taught to hate and fear. You've got to be taught from year to year. It's got to be drummed in your dear little ear. You've got to be carefully taught. Eddie got up. He went to the African-American man. He asked him what he wanted. He went to the redneck who could have taken him out with one blow of his fat fist, ordered, paid for it, and gave it to the man. Has anybody here seen my old friend John? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seems a good die young. And I just looked around and he's gone. Didn't you love the things they all stood for? Didn't they try to find some good for you and me? And we'll be free someday. Soon it's gonna be one day. We approach the stallion, wild and free. He lets us fall upon his back, then he lifts into the moonlit night. Into the unknown he flies, he flies. Elfin meadows and the fairy ring, they begin to fade from sight. And I watch as you open your eyes, and you come out of sleep. You smile as you see me staring back at you. Your gentle, strong arms pull me close, and we both feel a rush, a sense of awe that takes our breath away. And all this time, I love you so much more. We must remember these moments, so frequent and few. We must remember these moments of love that I find being here with you.
I love your strength and your inspiration and your kindness and your empathy and your heart. And really, I wish, you could just take over the world or take over the United States now.
But there's no cure just no time at all.